Monday, Rick.
Monday blues. What's going on, Chase? How are you on this lovely
Monday? Good,
Monday?
mate. Yeah, no, actually, I can't complain. I've had a fairly reasonable day, just doing some work and all that. So, yeah, mate.
Busy?
Yeah, keeping busy, mate.
Good
you
stuff.
too.
Always.
Come on.
busy.
You were saying just before the show you had a really
off air. I had a
day.
shitty day, but we're not going to talk about that. We've got some exciting stuff to talk about, though, have we?
Yeah. I mean, you always got stuff to talk about, don't we? With around the movie space. Probably the big thing, though, we got to talk about is, and it's been 24 hours now since we've seen that, is that we got back to the movies again after a little bit of a break. And we saw the Eternals. Eternals. Marvel's, Marvel's new big film. So, yeah, we saw that yesterday. Now, this film released around the same time all around the world. So, apparently, today, I checked it out. Now, the Eternals has debuted at number 1. Big surprise. I mean, this is the American box office, of course. So, so it grossed $71 million over the weekend over there. And the reason I'm even bothering mentioning this shit is just because it goes to show whether these movies are successful or not, or how do the audiences are reacting to them. Sometimes it's got to do with the money. It's simple as that. So, it's done well over in America. I mean, let's face it, the lead up was pretty. I mean, the critics' ratings on this were iffy. Like, when we went and saw it, dude, it was 53% Rotten Tomatoes, which is not certified fresh. It's not certified fresh. So, it was not great. But, let's be honest too, we've seen movies where the critics said it was shit and it actually was a good movie. So that's happened before. So, so I went in. I mean, I always try to go in, not believing what those people say, just going with my own,
Just avoid everything before going in. Yeah. It's the best way. It's the only way to do it, really.
When I was really young, I was into spoilers and stuff like that, but not at all now. I like to just to go in, experience it, and that's it. So I was able to stay spoiler free because we got to see it the same weekend as everyone else. So, but we saw it, Rick. We saw it, and let's just not bury the lead. What do you think, Rick? Put it in a nutshell. Give me a 1-sentence review of Eternals. Let's see if you can do it.
One sentence review. Okay. Well, you know what? Eternals is not a typical MCU film. It is definitely something out.
Yeah, man. That's
for me. I don't know if you agree with me, Chase, or anyone agrees with me. I just think it was.
How will I explain the Eternals for me? It's got all the ingredients of a great pie, but someone put the oven on too low, didn't cook it enough. That's my analogy. So, I thought about this film quite a lot afterwards because, if anything, this movie did stay with me a little bit because I was thinking about it. I mean, beautiful looking film, look gorgeous. Like that Chloe Zhao, I don't know who the cinematographer is, but the film looks distinctly
amazing.
Right, and then a lot of that is just backdrops of the locations they were at and stuff like that. So it looked gorgeous. It looked different. But it was it's a film that I think the critics are pretty well on song. I think you're either going to love it or not like it, not hate it, but I don't think it's either going to work for you or it doesn't. I don't know if it worked for me, because okay, here's the problem.
We struggled.
Go on, Rick. Go on your rant before I go on mine.
No, you go on your rant, dude. You go.
Well, look, the issue is she makes beautiful films. Nomadland was wonderful. Worthy Oscar winner, all that shit. But in reality, a Marvel film that goes for 2 hours and 36 minutes, which has a lot of quiet character moments. I know that sounds cool. Like, I'm sure Feige and co were like, but we're making a deep Marvel movie where it's going to be a character piece. But you know what? It didn't work for me, and it's just like, it is slow at times, and I'm not against slow films. I love slow films. I can give you great examples of films from the 70s I love, who know how to handle pace of film correctly. But this film just, it felt like it was just, okay, we're going to do it that way, but hey, we've got to have an action scene, so let's throw that in there and all that. And how the biggest, there are little things that bother me, dude. Like, did you notice that DC was mentioned in the movie twice?
Quite a bit. Yeah.
Twice. So you mentioned Batman.
Bit of a jab, to DC.
But no, it wasn't really a jab. It was, to me, it was more of acknowledgement of existence, which then, for me, because fucking nuts, I go, well, okay, if the DC exists in this universe, the Marvel don't. But even in the DC universe, therefore, everybody's aware of the superhero concepts, and no one should be surprised about superheroes. And then also in that they reference Star Wars. They're holding up a Star Wars book at one point. So it's like, okay, so we've got to buy into reality that's as closest to our reality that could possibly be. And this is where, for me, once I established that, look at my light, fell down. You see that?
Oh,
look at that!
That just on that great movie poster, guys. If you haven't seen that,
wow, that just fucking shit's falling apart here. That's the whole studio is upset.
It's just falling apart, mate. That's right. It's devastated.
Villain is piss weak, even if there is a bloody villain. The character moments
are
slow and boring as fuck. It's just, what is it with Marvel and the expansion of their roster? What is it with this? We feel like we can't see. I just want, at this point, Rick, I'm sick of new characters.
Yeah.
Fucking sick of it. And these Eternals are fairly generic. They've just taken powers. Like, you've got the Flash in there. You've got a Superman type in there.
I know. And
you've got a rogue type.
Did you feel
mind
like that
control?
When you saw it?
Yeah, it was very generic powers, I mean, like, literally, Kimona, he's got finger guns.
No, what is he? But that was it. That's what he was doing. He was great. I loved him as a character. He was good. But
he was comic relief, so he gave us some fun.
That was the only thing. But I struggled with this movie, the pace of this thing. That whole first hour. Fuck me, dude. I was getting really restless in the cinema.
You were antsy through the whole fucking movie.
Yeah,
I could sit there and I could hear Rick going.
It was just
runs of frustration throughout the movie. Yeah.
But you know what? And the going into the cinema, it was a different crowd for us than what we had noticed. We've been going to a lot of Marvel movies, and what I mean by this is not a typical MCU movie. It reflected with the crowd that we were there, and
interesting crowd, wasn't it, Rick? Full of middle-aged.
What'd you call them?
Women. Well, or affectionately known out there as Karens. And I'm going to say Karens because there is something I forgot to tell you we were at the movies, but this legit happened. The moment where we got our tickets, we go in and you said, I'm going to go to the toilet, and I held the drinks, right? So you go to the toilet, and then just out of the corner of my eye, there's the kid who's collected the tickets, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
All of 16, if that. And I see her, a short woman talking to a guy. I don't know what she's saying, but then she turns around and she's just got her eyes kind of pointed out and she just goes, yeah. Just like that. As you walking past, and I thought, fucking Karen. So the cinema was full of them. And I'll tell you what, it definitely reflected because we had walkouts, dude.
We did.
People were going to speak to the manager, mate.
Actually had there was a family of 6, I reckon, or 5 walked out. 2 of them next to me. Crazy. Yep. Never seen people walk out of a Marvel
family
film,
of 3
ever.
walk out. I've never seen it. But we saw it.
Not in a Marvel movie.
We saw it yesterday. Yeah, I think it's because the problem is Marvel. If you're a parent who doesn't follow movies and stuff like that, you see Marvel and you think I can take the kids, but this is clearly a movie that the kids are not going to give a shit about.
No,
I know they're trying to be profound and epic, and there were some good things in it. But I'm done with it, mate. I'm done with it. I'm done with the expansion of their roster, Rick. If you think about it, check this out, mate. Check this out. I'm going to show you this. Look at, so we know all about the other Marvel characters, right? And this year alone, we've had WandaVision, Falcon the Winter Soldier, locally and What If, right? But they're all using characters we know. So that's good, right?
All right.
But here's where the problem lies. we've now, coming up next year, we've got more expansion of the roster. You've got Miss Marvel, Moon Knight, She-Hulk,
Woo!
Ironheart, and Untitled. Like,
Oh,
so
horse.
the problem is, Rick, all of a sudden, okay, we've lost a few characters in Captain America and Thor as they were with Chris Evans and that.
Yeah.
Not Thor, Iron Man. But all of a sudden, you're adding what, an extra 10 or 12? Like, I just think it's too much. I honestly think it's too much.
Do you want to see, or are we going to go back to that whole thing that DC? Do we want to see another Batman movie? Do we want to see another? You know what I mean? Are we just going to
I don't know.
redo
There's got to be a
those
balance
same characters?
there. Well, I'd just like to see more stories with those characters we've already got. So what my fear is just like, we're going to get more characters to the roster and all that. And I know from their perspective, and this is what I'm guessing, is they're going, well, that's what happens in the comics book. There are thousands of characters all intertwined.
Yeah.
But I think comics are different than movies do. I really do. I think you're going to get to the point where it's just too much and it just comes generic. And I think we've seen signs of it this year. Because I'm going to say to you, Rick, this is the worst fucking year for Marvel movies since 2013. Now, 2013 was the year of Iron Man 3 and Thor: The Dark World. I don't hate these movies, but it was especially known as the worst year. And I think at the movies, not TV, but at the movies, it's 1 out of 3 for me this year. It's Shang-Chi seemed to be the standard character,
was that?
which was an expansion again, another expansion, but they did that well, and that's kind of okay. But to me, Rick, it's the Eternals. I don't know. What do you think? I mean,
I don't know, man. Like I said, I really struggled with this movie, and I had issues with it. There was just certain issues, and the fucking cameo at the end. I was just like that. Just fucking.
Okay. Before we do this, hang on. Here we go. Spoilers, guys. We are just about to do spoilers. But yeah, here we go, Rick. Go on, name it. What that after credit scene?
The after credit scene. If you have not seen it, this is a spoiler. Fuck
one of them anyway.
It was 2. Obviously this character comes through. They start, introducing him. Blah blah blah. Lo and behold, it's Harry Styles.
Harry Styles playing Eros, the brother of Thanos. But it was such a bit of stunt casting, wasn't it? It just immediately I'm out of the movie. Immediately I'm going, that's Harry Styles. Fucking Harry Styles.
I can't. And you know the market's going to hit? No.
Teen girls.
It's got to hit the teen girls and all. They're going to love it. Oh my God, Harry was in a Marvel movie. That's where they're going to go with that.
It just felt like stunt casting.
It did. It did. I've seen him on interviews and all that. I think he's great and all that, but I just don't know as an actor. It's a big character to pull off, but just didn't do it for me.
I mean, traditionally we do ratings like on the channel of that, and I haven't got any, but I'd give it a 6 out of 10.
6
if I was that. Yeah, it's not horrible, but it's got some problems.
It's definitely got some problems. For me, it's definitely a 5.
And okay, if actually go back to the after credit scene again, another spoilers, guys. But it's the other one is the dude from Game of Thrones, the boyfriend, who was just inexplicably. You see him in the beginning of the film. He's set up as the boyfriend, generic kind of guy, but then you don't see him for most of the movie. He comes back at the end and he goes, "Oh, there's something I've got to tell you about my family."
About my family history.
Then we go in an after credit scene and he's picking up what is Excalibur?
It looks like Excalibur or something.
So what is he plays the Black Knight or something in the Marvel Cinematic Universe? So again, let's just drop in another character.
Pointless. But they did that with what's his name? The Indian character, Najari's character, King G, whatever he was.
How weird was that, dude?
That was weird.
You have a main character, one of the main heroes, basically one of the Avengers, right? Who, when it comes down to the final fucking scene, just decides to fail and go.
He just goes, but you don't hear anything about it. And then towards the end, he comes back. And no explanation, nothing.
No, I know. He comes back and nobody says anything like, "Hey man, why didn't you come back?"
That's right.
And then he just appears picking up luggage and putting it in a car. Some baffling shit in there. I said to Josh, my son, very much is about logic in these movies. Everything has to kind of make sense for him. And I understand that. And I said this movie's going to drive you nuts, mate, because there are things happening in this movie that just make no sense at all.
No.
So, yeah, man, it was a disappointment for sure, which I think is leading towards the big black demon coming up against us, Rick. And if I was going to be really honest with you about Marvel, and I reckon it's Marvel fatigue, I think we're hitting into that.
Done its run.
I don't think it's done its run, but
it's getting there.
I don't think it'll be a situation where the movies will be crap and then they'll go away. They'll keep making them, but I think at the moment we're going to go in for a bit of a slide here because, honestly, let's be honest: if Spider-Man No Way Home and Doctor Strange don't live up to expectations, exactly flop, Marvel in a lot of trouble, man.
Yeah.
They're in a lot of trouble because they've not had a good year at the movies, critically and fan-wise, Black Widow is a movie out of time. Should have come out after Civil War.
Yep.
And it wasn't that great, it's just, I don't know, man. I think, this is a crazy analogy, right? And you may not get this, Rick. I'm sure a lot of the gamers will understand this. I am predicting that the Marvel DC situation we're having is going to be very much like the PS3 versus Xbox 360. All right. Now go with me here. Xbox 360 comes out of the gate, top of the line console, the biggest hits around, Xbox Live, Halo 3. It is cream of the crop all the way through. And that's just like Marvel. Cream of the crop all the way through. PS3 come out of the gate and they are struggling. They're not selling units. It's big and bulky. It was more expensive, I believe, than the Xbox. There was a lot of things going against it. But time passes. And over the life of the generation, actually PS3 ended up selling more units. And they, in their later life of the PS3, come out with incredible exclusives that were not available on the Xbox. So I'm predicting DC's about to see an upswing. I think even though they are kind of expanding their roster, they don't have a big roster to worry about anyway at the moment. But they're doing it in interesting ways. So I think with all the hiccups that DC have done, I think it's going to serve them better in the next 10 years than currently where Marvel are at right now. I really do.
Flip the switch. Marvel are going to be.
Marvel are going to be in struggle street. We're still going to get our great films there and now and again, but the audience is going to get fatigued. They are fatigued because, let's be honest, dude. That film was very generic yesterday, and the beats of what a superhero film was. Things just happen the same kind of way. And, the audience is picking up on that. And they're just going to get sick and tired of it. I think Marvel need to slow down on their movies, release one movie a year, and invest all their way into streaming. Because that way they can do their streaming seems to work. They can do their long-form storytelling and just slow it down a bit. Because it's a lot of shit to watch every year. And if it's not great, you're not really excited about going back to see the next thing,
No, but I mean, all they're going to look at is the money, the figures when they come in.
Yeah, and they're going to make money. I mean, this is why we're going to get
that's right.
average movies for a while, is because they still profit. They still do well. So pretty crazy stuff, you know what I mean? But, yeah. Sorry about the movement there. I keep knocking the table. It's just going fucking wobble. But the other thing I wanted to talk about too, Rick, tonight, is, and something that's really affected us personally recently is film delays here in Australia. It's a big deal, and I've been wanting to talk about this for a little bit. Currently in America, at the moment, let's go back a step. For the last 20 years, I would say, here in Australia, we have been getting films coming out the same time that they come out in America, generally. In certain cases, we got the movies a week before. We did with the Avengers and a lot of those big blockbusters. So we're always in a good position. However, this year started a very disturbing trend for us here. Films have started getting delayed. So, like Dune, which came out in October, I believe, in America, is not due. It's not coming out here in Australia And let me show you this. Oh, you can't really see that. I should kind of zoom in, which I will. December 2nd.
Yeah.
So
and
you
then
got a movie.
it's funny. We were watching the trailer to it, and on the cinema when we were watching the trailer to it yesterday, it said October 23rd.
Yeah, it actually said October. Yeah.
yeah.
So it's
Just
ridiculous.
crazy,
And that's happened a lot for us. Halloween Kills came out a couple of weeks late.
Yep. Venom.
We've got Venom isn't coming out to the end of November, which was a mid-October release in the US. Bond gets released
Comes
this
out next week
here in Australia.
Yeah, this week. Yep.
So we've had a lot of movies that have been delayed, which then causes a big problem. Another byproduct from it, which is causing a big problem, is piracy here in Australia. Australians traditionally pirate the hell out of stuff, and we did for a while. Generally TV, because we couldn't access it. All right?
True.
I can neither confirm or deny any involvement, any knowledge. But we couldn't get that stuff. But streaming changed that. We got all these streaming devices. Game changer.
Makes it easy for everyone.
And I bet you a lot of people who did download shit stopped downloading. Because, like, why do you need to? It's there for me right there. Why download it?
Correct.
Which they've done, right? And it was also the same in movies. If the occasional movie didn't come out, people want to pirate. So what I'm saying is these film delays are actually harmful in so many ways. We're not getting the films the same time. And it really sucks because you got to shut down your social media.
Have to.
During that period. Otherwise, you get spoiled. The other thing is it promotes piracy. If we know these films have been out, we're going to go and pirate, these films. And it's the HBO Max situation this year where they released all those streaming things. Well, because no streamer in Australia turned around and said, well, we'll release them too, and there's a pay-for model or whatever. Everybody, I bet you, downloaded everything from... everything come out in HBO Max this year, people would have downloaded it. So it's really me a bitch session about fucking Australian distributors. Just because the damage you're doing to the consumer and to the industry and all that, it's just bullshit. Let us see the movies when they come out. I'm sick of waiting for stuff. There is no reason to do it.
But months and months, that's the thing that's a fucking killer. Like, we're waiting months in advance, and it's painful.
Dude, you got a problem. The streaming window from the fucking when the movie finishes at cinema, dude, it's generally out on streaming 3 months later.
So Shang-Chi, perfect example. When did that come out?
Comes out Friday.
Comes out Friday
on Disney Plus.
So it's been, perfect.
Yeah, perfect.
Why can't they just do that?
And if we're getting films delayed, I mean, we might be able to access on Amazon or something No Time to Die within a couple of weeks after it's come out in the movies because of that window. So
we've been waiting so long, especially No Time to Die. Like, we've been waiting almost, 2 years for this friggin' movie? And then we're going to wait an extra couple more months?
You know what else is shit about the delay? This is another shit byproduct about it, is the fact that because of these films have been delayed for COVID and then we're getting extra delay on top, the marketing, they've exhausted. I reckon I've seen the whole entire plot for No Time to Die. The trailer we saw yesterday, dude, it literally gave away the whole plot. Like, it was just... So you get to see so much footage in that, and you got to hide from it. It's like Ghostbusters stuff. They have marketed...
Oh, when's that? There's another one.
Yeah. I don't know, but I should look it up, actually, as we're talking.
That's fun when they're coming out.
Yeah, Ghostbusters. There's lots of clips online for it and stuff, which I've watched.
And that's the thing, and that's what we were talking about, like the social media side of things. People will just hammer the fuck out of it. And fair enough, so they want to. That's great.
Yeah, well, according to this, do look at that, January 1st.
January, you know what I mean? Is that here in Australia? And when does it come out in? Just interesting to see the US.
US. November 19th.
Now, come on.
No, that's Australia.
That's Australia.
But I thought I just had it.
I just reckon I just...
Yeah.
Or they're releasing it worldwide, or is it US? Or...
US. Coming up in America. State. In America. Don't control me, Google. This is Google not letting me find out the real truth. It doesn't want me to find out in America.
in America.
And it makes me sound like all USA.
Someone's been Googling it because
19 November.
Ridiculous bullshit.
Yeah.
See,
Yeah, it's horseshit.
crap. What? That's 2 months. What? That's no.
So, you know, and
That's
hey,
bullshit.
you want another byproduct is we're actually, you may have seen on the channel, there's a couple of guys we're talking to from the US. And that's the other thing. We've been trying to sync together to talk about some of these guys. We can't because they've seen it a month ago and we're still waiting. So,
and people have already posted things about it and all the rest of it months ago. Who wants to go? Yeah, it's just crap. And then now we have to what? Like now what? So we're every week now they're just crammed in November all these movies. So we've gone and seen Eternals. Then we're going to go see Bond next week, and then the week after we've got Venom. You know what I mean? They're just cramming everything in. Yeah, it's just fuck.
Nah, it's absolutely very very frustrating. But there you go.
It's got to stop.
There you go. What a great bitch session. I really needed to get that off my chest because. Fuck the Australian distributors. I don't know why they're doing it. I really don't.
I don't know why they're doing it. If anyone knows, please leave a comment down below because I really want to know.
Put us out of our misery, please.
Freaking just crap.
Yeah,
but anyway.
Yeah. But there you go, mate. So what a pretty miserable ass bunch of bastards we are today because we bitched about the Eternals, bitched about Marvel fatigue, complaining about film delays. It's just one of those shows, I reckon. But ideally, it
is what it is.
It is, in a way, we talk about how much content we got and we're getting delayed, but it's a good time for movies. There's a lot of stuff coming out. Dune and Ghostbusters Afterlife are 2 films I personally are the pick of the and Spider-Man No Way Home.
Yeah. Which is in December? This show,
Yeah. Actually on my birthday, 28th. So I'm going to learn to stop knocking this mic. Unbelievable.
What are you doing? Knocking the mic?
Anyway,
how are you knocking on the table?
I'm moving the table. I don't know what to do with my hands. I feel like Will Ferrell being interviewed in remember he's being interviewed in Talladega Nights and he's grabbing the mic and he doesn't know what to do with his hands. Yeah, there you go. All right, mate. That's it. We're out, guys. So this could be our new format. We've got them. We're trying to very cash. We'll just get on once a week and crap on a bit. I reckon Mondays will probably be the go. And check us out. Rick, what do they got to do to have a look at us?
Guys, all you need to do is give us a comment down below. Give us one of these a thumbs up. Really appreciate it. Hit that subscribe button. Hit that notification bell so you know every time one of our videos pops up. And just follow us all on our social media sites. Easy and simple as that, guys. Appreciate it.
Brilliant. Thanks, guys. Now I'm going to go and fix this LED light. It's a load-bearing LED light, so it's holding up the studios.
Look at it.
We'll catch you later, guys. See ya.
See you guys. Bye.
We're out. We're done. Is it not ending? I didn't press it in.
Oh, no.
We're just going to go on for now for another hour.